Namaste and welcome back. So today we'll be giving you more information about speaking module. This will be the last module out of our series. Now here we are going to give you a complete idea of what to expect in the speaking test. Now speaking test, irrelevant whether you are appearing for academic or general training in IELTS, it will be one and the same. And of course, even if you are appearing for paper based or computer delivered, it will be the same pattern. So you will be talking to the examiner face to face, and the amount of time that is required for this test is, compared to all other modules, is less. So it will be just about 11 to 14 minutes. I can say max to max 15 minutes your speaking test will be over. Yes. Now let's begin with the inputs for your speaking test. Speaking module will have 3 parts. Okay. Now the first part is introduction. Here the examiner is going to ask you a few questions regarding you and yourself. I mean to say questions arising like your name, where you work or study, what do you do for living, or what do people do for living in your native, tell me about your hometown, and certain specific topics like, what are your hobbies, in case if you have mentioned anything in your answers, or they may ask you something specific like about movies, your opinions, your likes and dislikes about the movies, likes and dislikes about your food that you have at home or restaurants. What do you usually shop for, how frequently you do these shoppings, and where do you shop from. So in general, they may ask you certain questions which are easy to answer. You don't need any technical knowledge to answer these questions. The next part is cue card or task card. So we call this as cue card or task card. The reason is a topic is given to you to describe or explain, and based on this topic there will be 4 questions. And so the examiner is not going to ask any of these questions. The cue card or the task card is given to you, and when it is handed over to you, the examiner will tell you that you will have 1 minute to prepare on the topic. Yes, you heard it right. You will get time to prepare for this answer, and after you have prepared for the topic, you will have to speak about the topic and try to answer these 4 questions in 2 minutes. Yes, the maximum amount of time that is required is only 2 minutes, and a minimum of 1.5 minutes you have to speak to get some certain amount of bands, because assessment will not be possible if you are speaking less than 1.5 minutes. So keep this in mind, to speak a little over than 1.5 minutes, but not more than 2 minutes. Now don't worry about the time. In case if you exceed more than 2 minutes, the examiner will stop you, and there is no penalty for this. Yes, you heard it right, there is no penalty for this. Now coming to the topic, yes, you have to speak about the topic. You should not get carried away from the topic. If you do so, then you would lose a lot of bands, because you're not speaking onto the topic. I mean, you should stay with the topic, and you should be speaking about the topic only. Now the best part of this part is no questions will be asked by the examiner. So the examiner is going to hand over the cue card, prepare for 1 minute, and speak for 2 minutes. That's it. Very simple, easy. The next part is called follow-up. So here the examiner is going to ask you questions. So the kind of questions will arise based on the answer that you have given in your part 2. Okay, whatever you have said, whatever you have described or explained in part 2, a little detailing probing is done in part 3. So expect this to be an extension of part 2, but here the examiner will be specifically asking you questions. So again, here you can expect 6 to 8 questions. So the kind of questions will be, you need to give more detailing answers, I mean elaborative answers, but not for a length of like 1 or 2 minutes like in your part 2. I would say adequately you answer, and be reasonable in your reasoning, okay, and try to give the actual experiences, try to describe your actual experiences and your thoughts and opinions in part 2, so that you will not find it difficult to cope up with the questions in part 3. Okay, so The amount of time that I said in total, it is divided into 4 to 5 minutes for part 1, 3 to 4 minutes for part 2, and 4 to 5 minutes for part 3. And I think this is it all that you need to know before you would even think about IELTS to attempt. So we have completed almost all the 4 modules of inputs, but we haven't given anything like, in detail about the training, how you need to answer, what kind of answers if you would give, how much it will convert to bands, be it speaking or writing, or how to find answers for reading or listening. So all of these informations are coming up in the next part of our video, where we are giving you 5 examiner tips on each of these modules. So these are very important for you if you're preparing for IELTS. So stay tuned with us, like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share it among as many as people as you can. And don't forget to press the bell icon, and you will have all the previous videos links in the description. And in case if you need more info on any of these modules of whatsoever we have explained, you can call us on the number mentioned in the description, not in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.